Hi everyone. So today is 5th Jan and this is my fifth live stream. And today I'm going to talk about one of the most important topic and which I learned from hedge fund manager who was my mentor. So this is very insightful. This session is going to be short but very insightful, and if you can stay along till the end, you might know what's the top themes you can invest in, the sectors that has highest potential to give you enormous sums of wealth this year 2026. So before doing anything, let me explain you what this tailwind and headwind concept is, and later I will tell you what's the best theme to invest in 2026 which has enormous wealth creation opportunity. So without delaying, let's go. And I will record this video and put it in YouTube. Anyone who is joining late or will join late later, you guys can watch it. So yeah, just let me present my screen. Yeah, best sector to invest in 2026. So one of the greatest quote that I learned from this guy is, even if you make mediocre investments, your gain will be phenomenal in sector with tailwinds, and you will come out frustrated by buying best companies where the tailwinds are missing. So tailwind and headwind. This is the most important concept that I learned, right? The thing is, what's tailwind, right? Let's say this is a plane going from destination A to destination B. And when the plane is going, right, the plane is going in this direction. In headwind, what happens is air is coming from this direction. This is all air. It's coming from this direction. So what happens is it creates a resistance. Uh, bear with my beautiful writing. It's very good. So what happens is it's create a resistance to the plane, and it takes more time to go from point A to point B, right? But in second, which is called tailwinds. Tailwind is basically the air, the wind is coming from direction this side. So plane is going from point A to point B, and it also gets tailwind, which is wind from back of the plane, and it goes that way. So what happens is the wind plus the plane, the flight, phenomenal writing. The wind energy and flight energy both gives faster. It moves faster. The plane moves faster and it reaches destination B fast. So this is the concept of tailwind and headwind. Let me clean this. My beautiful drawing and handwriting. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So what happens is the sectors. There are few sectors. So sectors is basically the biggest theme where the money is been flowing, right? Money is being given to that sector through incentives, through government funding, through government incentives, and a lot of things. So when this happens, the sector tend to grow more, right? Another is headwind. Headwind happens when the sector has resistance. Government is putting tax, government is banning, government is doing a lot of things which is against the company or which slows down the company's growth. So those are headwinds. Key track, like if you want to understand what where the tailwind and headwind is heading, you need to understand the macro and read news a lot, right? So this is a headwind example. So additional excess duty on tobacco, health is on pan masala to be effective February 1. From Feb 1, pan masala, cigarettes, tobacco, and similar products will attract a GST rate of 40%, while BRICS will attract 18% goods and services tax according to government notification. So what this will do is companies which are in tobacco industry, right? It will get lots of resistance from the government, 40% tax, which will reduce the volume of the product because the companies will tend to increase their prices of the cigarettes. People will tend to smoke less because of the prices increasing. So the volume goes down. Once the volume goes down, then the share price of the company goes down. So this is a headwind example, pure headwind example. This is 1st January 2026 article, right? Then ITC is a company which will take a massive hit. You can check the charts as well, which we'll see. Then Godfrey Phillips, which is a company, the parent company of Goldflake. Everyone knows Goldflake, but nobody knows who produces Goldflake, right? So this is a company. Their volume goes down. When as the volume goes down, their revenue goes down. As the revenue goes down, the share price goes down, and you don't make money there. So no point investing in this sector right now. Second, okay, so you got to know about tailwind. This is a pure example of tailwind. Headwind, right? Headwind is basically creating resistance. Now, our goal as a smart investor, if you are watching this video, you will become smart. And if you are watching, do subscribe because I want to show this to more people. And once you subscribe, it gives me more positive energy to create this type of content and help you grow, right? So just subscribe so that I can give you more insights, more knowledge in finance so that you can level up in finance game and multiply your wealth. Cool. So what's the main theme, right? This is the example of headwind. So headwind is are the company which we headwind sector are the companies where we don't want to invest in, right? Because if you put money in headwind, it will take a lot of time to get back your returns. And if you want to make good money, why not play in the momentum game? Why not just put money in where the tailwinds are, where the sector has a catalyst and has a probability of winning? So everything in life is a gamble, right? Everything in life is a gamble from the day you were born, when you went to school, when you choose your subject. You took a gamble on yourself, right? The only way to win the gambling game is to stack odds in your favor. When you stack odds in your favor, the moment you get more than 51%, that's the time you can start winning the game in investing as well as in trading or in anything in life, right? You bet on yourself, right? How you bet on yourself is you stack knowledge, you stack skills, and then you bet on yourself that I can do this. You go to a different country, you go to different places, you do multiple things, you start your own business, you take bet on yourself that you can do it. That's why you need to have enormous amount of probability in your side. And the only way to win this gambling game, and investing is not gambling, it is bet that you put with probability. If you have highest probability to bet, that's where you can invest smarter. And yeah, just invest smarter by having odds in your favor. Once you have odds in your favor, it's very easy to win. Coming back to what I was teaching is this, right? What's the main theme in 2026 which has a tailwind events? Tailwind is basically giving you a momentum to grow in the markets. and capitalize smart. So the main theme of Tailwind is the main theme is gold lending, right? Gold is being going up. The main reason gold is being going up is because the US government is printing a lot of money. And as government is printing a lot of money, people's value of investing or people's way of investing. So if you print a lot of money, what happens is the value of dollar goes down and the store of wealth has been degraded. So people tend to put that money in gold so that it acts as safe haven for them. Because wealth and money has most important thing, which is two things: store of value and value of exchange. Once they print a lot of money, the store of value goes down. So $1 today would not be equal to $1 in next 2 years, because as they are printing more, the supply is going up, and this creates inflation in the economy and asset prices tend to go up. So best way is put money in gold, right? So gold lending is a place where banks lend in exchange for gold. So gold lending will tend to grow up. RBI or the Reserve Banks of India, this is basically for Indian markets, but also the US market, which is Fed rates, are injecting liquidity in the market. Liquidity in the market meaning that people or the government is buying the bonds and giving the money to the what, to the public or to the bank, right? Once bank get the money, they can lend that money to the public and people. And what happens is people buy the gold, or people buy anything, they take loan. And once they take loan, as the interest rate goes down, people tend to borrow more. And once that happen, the people starts putting that money in two things: either assets or liabilities, right? Assets is basically real estate. People are buying houses, people are buying different investment properties, they are buying stocks, so broking company tend to go up. People are buying gold, so gold tend to go up. All those things people tend to buy. The second type of people are who buys liability, such as they are buying cars, they are buying houses, they are buying everything for themselves, right? So this means consumption sector tend to go up. That's why automobile sector tends to go up, which is a car manufacturing company, all those things, right? Now when it comes to auto sector, people just think in first principle, which is the car, right? But you need, if you are a smart investor, you need to think a car has lots of component in it, right? What's the most important? Car tires are really important, right? So tire company tend to go up. You started thinking in second order thinking right now. Tire goes up, then the steel companies who makes the car tend to go up. Then small particles, which is nail bolts, the AI or semiconductor chips inside the car, these tend to go up. So you need to position smart and think in second order thinking. Hey Moritz, what's up? How is your traveling going? Okay, so auto sector OEM will go up, and there's one more catalyst you can see, like this thing. The car sales surged 26% in December. The main reason was because there was tax cut. So tax cut happening, meaning that people are being paying less tax, and once they pay less tax, that means their income goes up. As the income stays same, but their saving goes up because they are paying less tax. And once that happens, the thing is people take that money and buy cars, buy homes, buy multiple things, right? Because they think that they have lots of saving, they can put money in them, car or anything, and also GST cut on cars. So this is double sword or double profit for the consumers, because get income tax rate cut, and also GST cut. People can buy cars easily. That's why the car automobile sector went up, and it will continue to go up. Then comes shipbuilding. Shipbuilding is basically, because in Indian Ocean, 65% of world trade is being done through Indian Oceans, right? All over the world's trade is happening in Indian Oceans. So to protect ourselves, or to protect the the Navy needs to be strong. The the Navy needs to be strong. All those shipbuilding company or ship companies tend to go up, and it will go up because government has given. You can see this article says that government is been putting and giving incentives for shipbuilding manufacturing, because India has very less shipbuilding company. So there are only few players that you can bet on, and it will give you enormous money, right? So it says government notifies guideline for shipbuilding assistance development scheme, 44,000 CR outlay to boost Indian shipbuilding capacity. By strengthening shipbuilding and maritime capability, has ensured that Indian growth is anchored in self-reliance. Okay, this is important, right? Shipbuilding, and to protect ourselves is important. And for auto sectors, you can see the demand rising. These are the companies which you can look for, invest in: Maruti Suzuki, M&M, Tata Motors. Ashok Leyland is company which is who produces trucks, buses, and you can see all the DTC bus is from Ashok Leyland. So it's a good place to be. Eicher Motors, Bajaj Auto, Hero, Royal Enfield, TVS. Yeah, you can look in these companies. Then comes mutual fund. So mutual fund company will tend to go up. So why mutual fund company will go up, right? Now I told you about how interest rates are being cut. So I will make a beautiful drawing for you guys, so that you can think like a smart investor. This drawing is probably the best drawing that I can make for you guys. So see, right? So RBI, they want to put money in economy, right? Indian economy. So what they did, they printed money. Now they want to put that money in Indian economy. So what they do is they go to bank, normal bank, because RBI only transact with bank, not with consumers or customers, right? People. They talk to banks. They talk to bank. They say we'll buy bonds, government bond from you, and the bank says okay, I buy bond from you, but in order to buy bonds, I want money. So RBI says, cool, I have printed good amount of money. Now you can take this money and you can give us government bonds. RBI had have bond and bank has money. Now once they get the money, to distribute this money to customers or to masses, to public, what they do is they lower down the interest rate. Clean this up. They lower down the interest rates. They lower down the interest rates. Once they lower down the interest rate, what happens? Normal people, business people, They go there and buy what? They borrow money from the bank. Once they borrow money from the bank, now there are two type of people, right? One is smart investors like you who is watching this video and getting financially educated, and other is your friend who doesn't watch video and probably spend that money on phone, car, house which he will live in, etc. Right? He's buying liability. Second, the first person, which is you who is watching this video, understands this thing and you start buying assets. Assets such as stocks, you're buying cryptos, you're buying real estate property for investment purposes, right? You're a smart guy. So you watching this video makes you smarter than 80% of the people, right? You just watching this video understanding the finance because you are here for a reason, because you want to become smart and become wealthy in life, right? So yeah, there are two type of people who buys liability and second is buying stocks. So what happens is when you are buying stocks, or where do you buy it from, right? Either you buy mutual funds, and you will see now a lot of ads being promoted in Indian equity or Indian markets that people can invest that money in mutual fund companies. You can see the news as well. Even the government eases mutual fund fee rules to help some asset managers. Gold futures and options contract for liquid gold and silver, which is sovereign gold bonds. Futures check trading period, expiry date, and calendar. So it's also coming, which is gold and silver futures and options trading in the Indian markets. That means a lot of volume in trading or broking company will go, because investors like you and me who are smart will put their money in assets, right? And where do you buy assets? Broking companies, correct? So when you buy money from the broking company tend to make money. But you are very, very, very smart investor. So you buy shares of stock companies. You buy BSE. You buy Grow. Not a financial recommendation, but if you are a smart investor and connecting the dots, you need to put money where people will put money before them. Yeah, if you are watching this, you can buy, but not a buying and selling recommendation. I'm not a SEBI registered guy or financial advisor. I'm just giving my opinion, and it's a pure educational purpose, right? So mutual fund companies, broking companies, fund manager company tend to go up. Then Kavach, railway. So this is one of the important thing that you can watch. These company will tend to go up. This will outperform majority of the market. This is metal companies, aluminum companies, gold loans, automobile, mining and minerals, auto ancillaries, two wheelers, refineries, auto tractors, two wheeler, three wheeler, gensets, PSU banks, which is good. So NBFC Bank, PSU Bank, you can look into these sectors. Good. Then cable power. Now, when people, there are two type of people I said, who buys liability and other buys asset. The asset buyer will buy a house, right? But the person who is buying liability, he will also buy a house. So real estate tend to go up, but there is no clear winner in real estate, right? But buildings have been formed where people are buying. So what happens in a building, right? When you see a building, what does it contain? It contains what? wires, right? Cables. Electricity has been running. So electricity wires is needed. Tiles are needed. Paint is needed. All those things, which is second order thinking and third order thinking. Very important. First order thinking is we thinking just as house, real estate, right? But smart investor think deep, two, three, four times deeper than most of the people. And then they watch it, they tend to buy that thing, right? We as a smart investor will invest money in cables, will invest money in tile companies, will put money in painting companies, will put money in brick companies, right? Where we have the clear winner. So cable will also go up. And also, as AI is expanding, artificial intelligence is expanding, everyone's want electricity, semiconductor chips. So power and transmission company will go up. This will go up, and power and transmission energy is has only few players. So you can understand the sector. I will make a video for that as well. So you can invest in these companies, transmission, power companies, energy company. This will tend to go up a lot and will give you enormous benefits. Second, two and three wheelers will tend to go up. Now, two and three wheeler, why? As I told you, the people who will buy assets and people will buy liabilities. Bike tend to go up. People buy cars and people buy bikes, right? So these company will go up, which is two wheeler and three wheeler. Yeah. See my beautiful drawing, you guys, I made. And yeah, if you invest in this company, you will be this guy, the happy guy. Not company, sectors. I haven't recommended you any company. I have just recommended you where the money will flow. This guy is happy guy. But your friend who hasn't watched this video would be this guy. And you are a smart guy who watches this video, and your friend did not watch the video, so he doesn't know where to invest. And then he will ask you because you are financially smarter than everyone else. So he will ask you where to invest, and you can tell that invest in these sectors. So yeah, today's video is very intense, very valuable. And if you can understand where to put money, which is tailwind, your focus in 2026 is to find the tailwind and invest in only those sectors which has tailwind events happening. And you should avoid headwind companies because headwind companies will tend to resist the capital flow of the investors. And right now the FII is not, so which is foreign institution investors are not putting money in Indian markets because they have a lot of wealth creation opportunity in US markets with tech, with AI. So all the money is being flowing in US markets right now. Cryptos, US market, AI company, startups. This is where the money is being flowing. Silicon Valley, all the startups you see in AI niche are printing money like crazy. So yes, this is today's topic, and thanks for being with me. Yeah, 5th of Jan. No, no, it's 6th because it's after 12 a.m. So yeah, today's video is this. I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Thank you.